Forbidden Door 2023 is in the books. We'll be going over that. Vince got his nasty paws all over Raw. We'll be going over that. And, we're going to be talking about some Money in the Bank predictions. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. I'm your host, Comic Book Bob. Joined as always by my good friend Hollywood Frank.
HW, baby.
And our guest, Mr. Lariat.
Lariat! Hi, boys.
Hello.
What's up, man? You catch us here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, talking about all the news in wrestling. You can also follow us on social media. You can click here, and it's also in the description below. And yeah, man, this was an interesting week.
Yes, it was.
Big Daddy said you and Boogie were tremendous on Forbidden Door 2. Man, we had a lot, dude. I had a blast, man. And it was unfortunate. I mean, Boogie, he's super busy, man. He had to leave early. Frank had to work. You know, real life gets in the way sometimes.
Yep.
But we had fun, man, and it was a great show too. So, and a lot of people stopped in. Big Daddy stopped in. Leg kick, a bunch of people from Talking Vols, always appreciative. And yeah, man, it's a lot man, it was a great show. It was a lot to talk about. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and real quick and then check out everybody here. Big Daddy was here first. He said, "Acknowledge me, hey yo."
Hey yo.
Always, Big Daddy, always. Leg kick was here. He said, hail, leg kick.
He's driving.
He's driving. Maldecito said, sup. I gotta find it, man. I gotta clear this thing up, man.
Sup?
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 Hello.
What's up?
What's up? And
Got Miss Courtney in the
said,
house.
what's up? What's up, Courtney? Thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate it. And yeah, man, a lot of fun. Good show. I can't say so much for Raw. Frank and I actually watched it together, and yeah, I got some thoughts.
Yeah,
on this Vince heavy episode. So yeah, we'll talk about that, and then we'll also talk about some predictions for Money in the Bank. But Johnny, did you happen to see any of Forbidden Door?
I did. Couldn't be on the show because I thought my kidneys were giving up. They were not. It was just a scare, but so I couldn't watch it live, but I saw the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a good show, man. Some crazy stuff, but we'll get into it. Maldecito's getting ahead of us at the good. The Miz reminding Ciampa how much of a jabroni he is. The bad. Danielson breaking his arm. The ugly. The elbow to the boys. That's messed up. I don't care who you are. That's not right. That was pretty good, man. Courtney said, "Don't wreck your car leg." And Mal, yeah, be careful, guys. And always, yeah, Brian broke his forearm. We're going to talk about that. Before we get into that, like I said, he buried the lead. We got our favorite little thing, little something we call the good, the bad, and the ugly. This week it's Frank. What you got, brother?
Got to clean a little blood off my arm real quick first.
Oh my God, that was so gross, dude. When they started chanting "you sick fuck," I was like, yeah, I agree with you. That was nasty. But dude, the psychology of it was amazing.
The good, man. I called it last week. I said even on the show, there's going to be the match tonight.
Yep.
Kenny Omega, man.
Ospreay. Oh my God.
Ospreay. I predicted Osprey was going to win the title.
Yep.
Said that last Tuesday, and he did. I think it was the match of the night. I mean, people might disagree when go Danish and Okada, but
yeah, it was something else.
I felt bad. I felt bad for the match. Was it the tag match afterwards?
Yeah,
Was
it the 6-man tag? Yeah, they had to follow that. That was like,
Yeah.
holy crap, man.
Jericho was in, so I don't feel bad. He deserves it.
Yeah.
Dude, I got some thoughts about that match too, man. Some stuff happened in that match. It was like, what the hell?
Yeah, but the good was Forbidden Door. I mean, Rob and I were at Forbidden Door, the first one last year. So that memory sticks with me. Will I say this one's better than last year? I'd say no, just because the first one has a special place for me. So
yeah.
So I'll say no. But damn. Damn. From the beginning with MJF, all the way to the end with wrestling with a broken freaking arm. For 10 minutes.
He's the GOAT, man.
But Osprey versus Kenny, again, match of the night. My bad is the match of the night. When you throw somebody out, they should not be able to come back to the ring. Just let the guys go. There was no reason for Don Callis to be out there at all. The ref threw him out. They let him come back. I know Big Daddy even talked about it on his podcast thing or his Twitter
the
thing.
video you did.
And it's just like, no, you throw a ref, you throw outside interference out. They're not ref. You throw a manager outside interference, they need to stay gone.
It's not the first time that happens in AEW, and it sucks every time.
Unless there's a ref bump or something where the ref gets knocked out and you don't know.
Yeah. Or he sneaks in, or he sneaks in. You know, he's like hiding behind the ring apron and tosses something in, and then like ducks out. Gives. There's a bunch of ways he could have done it. He could have snuck in and like given this screwdriver to his security guys. They could have slipped it to him. They could have done it a lot of ways. And here's the thing.
That's a lot easier. He could have not gotten kicking out like before he passed the screwdriver.
Right.
Make that be the reason he gets kicked out, and then he doesn't have to come back. Like it was an easy fix.
I understand what they did, and here's the thing. It didn't fit. If that's the way it had finished, like he had spiked him with the screwdriver, and that was the end of the match, I'd be really, really, really pissed, like super pissed. But I'm only slightly pissed because it just to me it's just bad. It's just bad booking. You know, it's like there's better ways to do it. Like you want to do this thing, that's fine. There's better ways to do it. Kick him out at the end, like Johnny said. Have him sneak in. You know, or he, have one of his guys. He had two guys at ringside that could have just given him the friggin' screwdriver.
Yeah.
You know, there's other ways to do it. But like literally the ref's looking right at him and he's just like,
the ref goes out. The ref goes out and takes his hands off of Osprey because Callis is trying to keep him from being pulled back in the ring. I mean,
he's literally holding. He pulled him out. It's like, dude, what more? And look, I get it. Like in New Japan, this was a New Japan style match. They don't do disqualifications in New Japan. Okay, they're super rare. I get it, fine. But this, man, come on, man. This was just to me. It was too blatant.
Yeah, just let these guys go.
Yeah,
it's Omega Osprey. That's what people wanted to see. They didn't want to see Omega Osprey and a little bit of Callis.
Yeah, and I'm glad. And dude, I understand it. Like Callis has got nuclear heat right now. So I get it. But at the same time, like I said, I'm not too upset about it because it didn't factor into the finish. The match kept going afterwards. Fantastic match, by the way. And I agree with you. Match of the night.
Just one thing. That
Go
the
ahead.
Tiger Driver 69 or whatever.
Oh,
number is
we'll
when
be talking
Kenny-
about that.
Kenny's neck
Sure.
went boink.
Trust me, we'll be talking about that.
And-
And then what's your ugly?
Am I ugly? You talked about a little bit. 3 hours yesterday. 6 matches in 3 hours.
Less than an hour of wrestling.
Watching Raw last night from start to finish. 6 matches, 3 hours. Not even an hour from bell to bell for all 6 of those matches.
Yeah, it was bad. Dude, watching Raw last night was like a chore. It was that's the best way I could describe it. It was a freaking chore.
And if that has the old man's hands all over it, good
Freaking
God.
palsy hands. Big Daddy said my ugly was too many matches, especially when you include 0 or too many 4-man, 6-man, 10-mans. Refs are freaking useless as tits on the bull. Yeah, it's
That's AW for you.
Yeah.
But I will say though the 10-man was actually for me it was like the best match of the night until Omega Ospreay. Just the storytelling of it, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, but it's just
6-man not so much.
WWE just awful. I mean, McMahon sticking his fingers in the SmackDown, changing it like
Dude.
advertised. You had advertised Bailey versus what the hell's her name? God, the one with the tank. I can't remember her name off the top of my head.
The one with the what?
The one that drives the tank. What's her name?
Shotzi?
Her versus Shotzi.
Shotzi. Yeah, Shotzi versus Bailey for Bailey's slot in the Money in the Bank. They advertise it.
Doesn't happen.
No.
And the women's match we did get was less than 4 minutes.
Ain't gonna do that. And then last night, like I'm sitting there watching. They, my God, was it Cody? They had him. Oh no, maybe it was Cody. I can't remember who it was. They had him inside the ring for damn near 10 minutes.
No, Seth.
Oh, Seth in the ring for
Seth was
10
in the ring
minutes.
for over 10 minutes. Wait,
They have him come out. Then they cut to a promo with Maximum, or not Maximum, was with the Alpha Academy and Maxine. Then they talk about Rhea Ripley versus Natalia again.
yeah.
And Seth's in the ring for 10 minutes.
And the whole time Seth's sitting in the friggin' ring. As like, dude, seriously, less than an hour. I think it came out to 57 minutes of wrestling on a 3-hour show. If I was at that show, dude, I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed, man. I'm sitting there for 3 hours and this is what I get. Dude, I'd be irate. But okay, my GBU, the good, obviously Forbidden Door, Omega Ospreay 2 was freaking amazing. Like I said, the only downside of it was the stuff with Callis. Why are we talking about Raw? Because last night's show was exactly what is wrong with Raw right now under Vince's control. That's why we were talking about it, and it pissed me off, man. Like it felt like work watching it. It did. No, I'm being completely honest. It felt like you were sitting there with me, dude. Like we're sitting there going, like, what the hell is this? It's insane, man. 3 hours and there's almost no. There's. It's like the wrestling's an afterthought, and then there's other stuff too about that show that just drove me crazy. But outside of the like I said, I don't think there was a terrible match on Forbidden Door at all. I'd say the 2 weakest matches were probably the 6-man tag and the women's match, and even those weren't bad. There were just some weird stuff going on. Yep, go ahead. Yeah, I'm ready, man. I'm just gonna keep talking until I see it. The storytelling in the 10-man between Moxley and Eddie Kingston, I thought was fantastic. I thought it was amazing. That, and look, whether you like the guy or you hate the guy, CM Punk knows how to work a crowd. That dude knows how to work a crowd. Pissed off or pissed on? Pissed off. I'm telling you. It just it bothers me that like how far it's fallen. That's the biggest issue with WWE. But yeah, just like watching Moxley and Eddie in the ring and realizing that Eddie still likes Mox. That's still his friend. He's just pissed off that his friend is messing around with a dude that he absolutely friggin' hates. And the storytelling in that match, dude, everything else is going on. Eddie and Moxley are in the middle of the ring beating the shit out of each other, and they don't care about anything else that's going on around them. Like everyone's flying here and there, and everyone's doing, and everyone's going at each other, and they're just in the middle of the ring, like, don't give a shit. It's about me and him, and that's it.
Yeah, the crowd was so excited to see those two guys in the ring together.
Yeah, dude, and it was just, and they fed off of that, man. And watching Eddie take a shot that was meant for Mox, it was just like I said, it's like that's his boy. That's his boy, but his boy's acting up and he's trying to get him on and he's trying to straighten him out.
Yeah,
and then also the fact that the match ended and Eddie didn't get his piece of Claudio.
Yeah.
And he was pissed.
Yeah, his boys got Claudio with him.
Yeah, dude. I loved that match. I thought that match was great. And then Punk comes out and it's mixed. It was a 50-50 crowd at first. And it was mixed. You know, there were people booing him. They started trying to start a CM Punk chant and it got booed down. And as the match went on, he didn't work specifically as a heel, but he was kind of leaning into being a little being disrespectful to Kojima.
Oh, this is what he was doing since before the match. That's why he didn't do the clobbering time. He didn't yell it to make the people mad. It was since before the bell.
Right. And also watching him feed off of this crowd and understand which direction to go. And even when he was walking back up the ramp, he's like pointing like, which way should I go? Should I go this way or should I go that way? Dude, the guy knows what he's doing. The man knows what he's freaking doing, man. And Mouse says, and CM Mox not return the favor and RKO. Yeah, dude. And when Claudio came in to take him out, Mox didn't block it. He didn't stop it. So that's a storyline that's going to be pretty badass going forward, I think.
Yeah,
and I'm looking
if they drop half the people and make more simple, maybe.
What'd you say? Oh well, no. Well, it's going to end up being just Moxley versus him.
And what's your bad?
My bad. Bryan Danielson breaking his arm with 10 minutes left. You never want to see that. And by the way, at first they thought it was just a fracture. Unfortunately, his wife released the X-ray, and it is much worse. It is a full break. So we're looking at 12 to 16 weeks. He's probably going to be out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So wishing him a speedy recovery, and just dude, the balls on that guy. Going another 10 minutes with a broken dude, I'd be crying like a little bitch in the corner. Okay. Dude, I broke my freaking toe and I thought I was gonna die.
Come on, Kurt Angle wrestled with a broken freaking neck.
I'm telling you, dude. Sometimes these dudes are tougher than if you're gonna be dumb, you better be tough. That's how the saying goes, man. It was a really, really good show, man. It was a very good show. Some people are saying it was the best show of the year. I don't think necessarily that. I think Wrestle Kingdom was better. But I think it was a very, very, very good show. Yeah, dude, he is a legit badass, man. You know what? He's vegan, but he's probably the most badass vegan I've ever heard of. So, and he needs to get a lot of protein to heal that arm. But the other thing that was bad, man, the 6-man tag. I don't know what happened to Sting, but dude, it was like he was just wandering around like he didn't know what he was doing. I think I don't know if he got his bell rung or something happened, but there was one miscue after the other, and then Sammy Guevara almost killed him.
Maybe he's hanging out with Jeff Hardy before the match.
I don't know, dude, but something happened, and Sting. It was like he finally, towards the end of the match, he got back on track. But I don't know if he got his bell rung or what, dude. But there was a lot of miscues going on in that match. And Guevara,
was he supposed to leave the table or not?
What was that?
Was he supposed to leave the table or not?
They're saying it was supposed to. Who knows?
I don't know, dude. But it looked like Sting was supposed to get off the table, and then Sammy was supposed to go there by himself. The way he landed, he landed right on top of Sting, man. And dude, I'm gonna tell you what. Dude, Sammy Guevara almost killed Sting. So, Ishii saw me. Yeah. Oh, dude, Tomohiro Ishii is one of the best friggin' wrestlers, one of the best workers you're ever gonna see, man. That dude has. I've only ever seen one match where it wasn't good, and it was not his fault. It was because he was in there with Evil, and Evil sucks.
Malashita knows you can't handle pain.
So yeah, you can't, dude, man. I'll tell you what, that sucked balls. But yeah, Ishii and honestly, I think it was Ishii who kind of got everybody back on track and got that thing going forward the way it was supposed to. So wasn't a bad match, but man, there was, like I said, there were rough spots in that. And what happened with Sting was like, I was like, what the hell happened here, man?
I don't know if you ugly?
My ugly Osprey's Tiger Driver 91 on Kenny Omega. Dude, let me tell you something. That is not a freaking move that needs to be done. It's, I mean, the guy who created it, that it's named after, freaking died because of internal decapitation because of taking that over and over and over again. And here's the thing: it wasn't like it was one of those moves where it looks like he landed on his head, but he really didn't. No, dude, he landed straight on the top of the crown of his freaking head. And the minute I saw it, I was just like, oh my God. And I legit thought, no, now here's the thing. Omega has come out and he said he's fine. Here's the thing. When Ricky Starks broke his friggin' neck, he said he was fine too. Okay. And then the next day he went and got his x-ray and found out he broke his neck. Kenny needs to get checked out, and I'm sure he will. I don't want to see moves like that, man.
Nope.
You don't need to be doing a move like that, especially when the guy who created it and it's named after died from taking it over and over and over again, died from internal decapitation. Okay. I don't want to see that freaking shit. That was that moment right there is the only thing that took me out of that match. And like I said, it was a fantastic match. I know Ospreay didn't mean to do it. It was super, super physical. And yeah, and here's the thing, accidents happen. We know that it happens. But that move in particular did not need to be done. So, and here's the thing, 99.999% of the time, Ospreay's going to hit that move and it's going to be perfectly safe. Okay. He's one of the best there is. But when you're that deep into a match, man, and they were both tired. And like I said, it was very physical. Like stuff like that scares me, man. But that was the ugly, man, because that thing was ugly. But yeah, that's my GBU. Johnny, you got anything?
We good.
Okay. I'm sure you'll just interject with your bullshit.
Yep.
Okay, guys, let's go ahead and move on from that. So we're going to talk a little bit more about Forbidden Door, and then we'll talk about a little bit of Raw, and then we'll make our predictions.
Yeah.
So
Johnny's going to sick Larry on us if you don't behave.
Yeah. So like I said, I don't think there was a bad match. I mean, obviously, I think the timing of the show got messed up a little bit because Adam Cole versus Tom Lawler got cut. Apparently, Adam Cole went to a convention. He had a convention appearance he had to go to. And you know what happens when you go to a convention, man? You get the con crud. And he apparently contacted something from the convention. He showed up, and basically he showed up to work. He showed up, and he was sick, but he showed up. And Tony Khan basically told him, "No, you're out of here." So that match got scrapped. Lawler did have a match. I can't remember on the pre-show. I can't remember who it was he wrestled, but they said that they are going to revisit it down the line, and we'll eventually get that match, which is cool.
Yeah, only one produced blood.
Only one producer. Yeah. Oh my God. The amount of blood. Jeez, dude.
Hey,
Flair level Crimson Mask, man.
It tasted good too, according to Ospreay.
Oh my God. But the first match, like they said, that started off. I was actually shocked that it started off with the AEW World Championship, dude. And look,
you know what it was? They got
up?
out of the way all matches that had predictable endings.
I also think that they got the matches out of the way where some of the participants were not particularly 100% healthy, because Tanahashi going in had like multiple injuries. He's suffering from a really, really bad knee issue right now, where basically one of his I think it's his right leg barely works. So and that's a situation we were talking about that. Me and Frank were talking about that earlier. That's something in New Japan that I think needs to change because they have a culture of working hurt. And I don't mean just like working with minor injuries and stuff like that. I mean, dudes working really hurt. Okay. That's the reason why Ibushi left, is because that injury that Ibushi had, like he was still recovering from it. He couldn't even lift his arms over his head, and they wanted to start booking him again.
Oh, well, that's
You know?
Vince McMahon style too. I mean, you don't want to leave.
Well, that's the way it used to be with Vince.
You didn't want to
because you lose your spot.
take time. Oh yeah, no,
You know?
you ain't gonna get no title shot if you can't work injured.
Yeah, and let's be completely honest here, man. A lot of these dudes, they love this shit so much, man. They just want to be there. They want to be in it. You know, I mean, look how many times when like look what happened with Bret Hart. Look, 100% Goldberg was at least partially responsible for what happened to Bret. But Bret also, you know, Bret was one of those guys that, like, you know, he didn't get checked out. He kept working even though he knew he was hurt. You know, these guys, sometimes you got to protect these guys from themselves. And Malice says, yeah, Tanahashi is just a walking injury at this point. He needs surgery and rest and only the finest hair care products. See, that's the thing, dude. Like, and that's the thing. They announced him for the G1, and I was like, dude, he does not need to be in the G1. The G1 is like, that's a grueling friggin' schedule for the G1, man. Like I think that's 6 matches in a ridiculous amount of time.
Yeah, and the problem is you don't only risk yourself getting hurt, you risk the other guy you're competing
you risk
against.
hurting someone else. So like, and then like when you could tell when he kept going, that's why he slipped on the top rope. It's not because he couldn't find his foot; it's because one of his legs was barely working. Yeah, the territories. Yeah, and that's the thing. Back in the day, that was just the thing, man. You just worked hard because if you didn't, like I said, you lost your spot. It's not like that today. You're not going to lose. Like they're not going to. Tanahashi's not going to suddenly become a jobber. You know, if he takes 6 months off to heal himself up, to get himself taken care of, and that's what they need to do because I'm going to tell you what. At his age, he doesn't need to be doing this stuff. He doesn't need to be doing this. And it was so obvious. And dude, friggin' all the credit in the world to MJF, because dude, that guy, MJF, friggin', you know, he made that match look friggin' competitive. And the storytelling, again, Max is 20. I think he's going to be 27 years old this year.
I think so.
This dude, he's incredible. You know, all the credit in the world to him, man, because he made that match. He made that match competitive. Okada has the best drop kick today, dude. For a dude, Okada, I think really 6'2",
6'4", I think.
Dude, he can get up there, man.
and if MJF wants to be like Sting and Jericho, he's got another 30 years in this business.
Dude, Max he's the future, man. He's 6'3". Okada 6'3", 236 pounds, and he can get up, man. So, you know that, yeah. So, Tanahashi doesn't need to be in the G1. He needs.
He looked really slow in that. Ring.
And then again, talking about CM Punk versus Kojima, dude. That's what a lot of people would look at that and think that was a throwing match. He made that match fun, dude. And he, like I said, he didn't work it as strictly as a heel, but he was taking some jabs and stuff, and he was working that crowd, man. And I'm gonna tell you what, this is the way it's gonna be going forward for a while. It's gonna be a mixed reaction, unless he's in Chicago. Okay, in Chicago, he's gonna be God. But everywhere else, it's going to be a mixed bag, and he's going to work it the best way possible. And eventually, I think everybody will start coming around.
It's going to depend on who he's wrestling too. Like if you're going to, people hate Max, but when Max is home,
when Max is in Long Island, forget it.
And you got CM Punk versus Max in Long Island.
Forget it.
They're not cheering CM Punk.
No, but they're not cheering anybody but him. But Red Dress Press said, hail, Red Dress Press. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Again, I like Kojima. Punk made this, and this was, it was part of the Owen Hart Cup. he made it fun. And they got him on the show, and that's the most important thing, man. Is
Yep.
getting him out there. What was the next? Was it the 4-way? I think it was. I think it was the 4-way.
Yeah, Cassidy,
Yeah.
Garcia,
Cassidy,
Shibata, Sabre
Zack Sabre
Jr.
Jr. Yeah, Garcia. This was a fun match. I mean, wasn't very long. Four ways, they can get really messy. What I thought made this match really good was Zack Sabre Jr. wasn't having any of the bullshit, dude. He was like any of the joke stuff, any of that kind of like all the Orange Cassidy stuff. He wasn't having none of it, man. And that's Zack Sabre Jr. to a T. Dakota Rouser said, AEW Dynamite. What's up, Dakota? Appreciate you being here. Yeah, Dynamite should be pretty cool this week.
Oh yeah.
I know Moxley versus Ishii, so like I said, anytime Ishii's in the ring, man, I'm there. But and then obviously they use this match to set up Cassidy versus Shibata going forward. Cassidy, man, and again, Cassidy being desperate and basically stealing Shibata's win here. There's some interesting storytelling stuff going on here, and eventually, what's going to happen, I think, is it's got to be Miro. In my mind, Miro's the only one that makes sense at this point that's going to take that belt off of him, and I think it's going to happen at All In. I think he's going to drop it at All In, but
Speaking of All In, and then a week later, All Out.
oh my god, dude,
Really?
that's how people get hurt. Seriously though, because they dial it up to 11 everybody dials it up to 11 for their matches on pay-per-views.
You're going All In for All In, and then a week later,
All Out.
Chicago for All Out.
Yeah, but and it was what was the next match? It was
that was Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy versus Sonata. Okay,
The filler.
yeah, no, well, look, this whole match.
No, the match was a nothing burger. Come on.
It was an average. If this had been like an average, been on television, it would have been an average, decent television match. As far as it being on a pay-per-view, yeah, it was lackluster. But let's be honest.
Sanada said it himself. Who is this guy challenging for the IWGP
Well,
title?
yeah, and the whole idea behind this match was the match itself didn't matter. It's what happened after.
Yeah,
that's the story.
Jungle Boy doesn't have a belt.
Yep,
He hasn't been able to win the big one.
hasn't been able to win any of them.
Came close.
Any of his challenges for the belt.
The only belt he's had is a tag belt with Luchasaurus.
Yep. But obviously, it was a little bit of back and forth. Sonata put him in the Paradise Lock, and then eventually he pinned him. Sonata, who by the way is looking jacked as hell.
Yeah, he looked really good.
He's a lot bigger than he was, man. He's cycling something. This works into a story with him because he's looking at this like he feels like he's disrespected as a champion. Jungle Boy obviously gets helped out. Hook tries to help him out, and then Jungle Boy just freaking lays him out.
And that was the best part. After the match.
That was the worst part of the night, though, because that meant Taz left the commentary booth and Schiavone came in.
Yay! What are you gonna do, man? I like Schiavone.
Not on commentary.
Him and what's his name?
Kevin?
No.
Excalibur?
Excalibur calling him a douchebag.
Yeah. But Kevin Kelly was the best thing on that show, man. As far as the announcers are going to do, I love that guy.
But
amazing.
Having Jungle Boy turn, hopefully,
needed to happen.
Like Rob, and then we're talking about on Sunday, he needs to come out. If you've ever seen AJ Styles when he was in TNA, turn heel, came out in the suit.
Yep, wearing a suit. He needs to be
looking all nice and clean and everything like that. That's what Jungle Boy needs to do. Shave the hair, cut the hair, come out in different attire, cut the music.
Come out like a typical Hollywood douchebag. You know what I mean? Like I'm a second generation Hollywood guy. I'm rich as hell. That kind of shit. That's
And
what he
maybe
needs to do.
and maybe come out with Anna Jay around his shoulder.
Come out with his hot girl around his friggin' arm, on his arm, man. Absolutely. But he needs to go full heel, man, and hopefully that's what happens. Next match was the it was the 10-man, wasn't it?
No, it was the only women's match.
Oh, Tony Storm. Yeah, it's Tony Storm versus Willow Nightingale again.
No, I'm
if
sorry.
this-
You're right. I'm sorry. You were right.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It was a 10-man.
Yeah, so the 10-man match, like I said, we already talked about that, dude. It was a lot of fun, man. Like I said, you get a 10-man match like that, man. There's a lot of bodies flying around. It's chaos. But then Eddie and Moxley in the middle of the ring, just telling a story. Like there was the story of the BCC versus the Elite, and then there was the story of Moxley versus
Eddie.
And dude, I loved it. I love the way the match went down. I love the way everything was going on. I love the storytelling in it. Like we said, Eddie, Eddie taking a shot for his boy, but his boy not returning the favor. This is going to be a cool storyline going forward, I think.
And I think you'll see. I think we might see Claudio versus Kingston at All In.
Oh, I think we're going to get Claudio versus Kingston for the ROH title at All In. For the ROH championship. And we were talking, like me and me were talking. Do you put the belt on Eddie? Because Eddie's crazy over, dude. I mean, he's that guy that just works and works and works. So, yeah, but do you give him his flowers?
Eddie doesn't need a belt. He doesn't.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like, well, bridesmaid, never a bride. That kind of thing. Redra said, "Twitter's made me a fan of Sky Blue." Dude, she's
you need a girlfriend, Chris.
But yeah, like the Tony Storm versus Willow Nightingale, it was like I said, if this had been on television, this has been a decent TV match. You know what I mean? As far as a pay-per-view show, it was like I said, there weren't any bad matches on the show in my personal opinion. But we knew there was no way she was beating Tony. So,
and if Mercedes wasn't hurt, it would have been Mercedes versus Tony Storm.
And honestly, that would have been a much better match. Don't get me wrong, I like Willow. Tony's gotten a lot better since she got there. But like I said, this was a by the numbers match. Then the next match was the 6-man tag. Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki versus Sting, Darby Allin.
The next match was the next match was Kenny versus Ospreay.
That's right. Man. That's right. Yeah. Oh my God. All right. So you saw the Wrestle Kingdom match, right? Which one do you think was better?
I'd go with the first one, Wrestle Kingdom.
I think so too.
Just because of also you didn't have Don Callis.
Yeah.
Wrestle Kingdom.
Well, and
that takes it down a notch for me. No offense.
Yeah. Like that moment, and like I said, and I still think it was, like I said, it was a match of the night. It's one of the best matches I've seen all year. That stuff with Callis just made me like, what the freaking hell is this? What are you doing? It didn't make any sense to me. And it took me out of the match a little bit, which is saying something, because man, dude, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think Ospreay is the best wrestler in the world today, right now. But then you got Kenny, there's a lot of guys out there, man. I still think just Will Ospreay right now he's on fire, dude.
The shooting star press off the
corner
God. On the draped over the rope Kenny. Then
the storytelling
does the Oz cutter outside on the ring apron,
dude. And dude, when he friggin', there were people that saying that they thought he may have got busted open hard way, but holy shit, dude, you talk about bleeding, man. Like he gigged. If he did gig, he gigged hard. Like, whew. But yeah, I personally think the Wrestle Kingdom match was better. I mean, not by I mean, it's like we're talking like by hairs here. But yeah, the stuff with Callis, I really felt is what detracted from it. Did they not face each other in AAA as well? I don't think so.
I'm not sure about that.
I have to double check on that. But I mean, it's not the first time that they've ever wrestled before. Like Wrestle Kingdom wasn't the first time they've ever wrestled, but it was the first time they wrestled like since Ospreay basically kind of took over.
And they're 1-1, which sets up
Yep.
the showdown at All In.
Yep. And dude, you know Ospreay's going to be the friggin' the face in that show because he says he lives 20 minutes away. Yeah, he lives 20 minutes from the friggin' venue, man. It's like but yeah, it's I can't like I said, I'm all about friggin' part 3. So bring it on, man. Then it was the 6-man tag, and like I said, we talked about that. Didn't have I thought Sammy was going to turn here. He didn't. There's a little bit of showing him up
Bob, we're getting a tag match tomorrow. Yay!
Yeah, I know. It's going to happen, dude. He's 100% going face. Anytime, but then like I said, I love Suzuki. Anytime I can get Suzuki in the match, I love that dude. I love that Darby tried to step to him and he basically killed him. But then we got the coolest part of the match was when Sting got in the ring with Suzuki and they're staring off and Jericho's like, oh, tag me. And Suzuki looks and goes, no. And Jericho's like, come on. He's like, no. He's like, no, I want to be the one in here with facing Sting. But then finally, and then it turned out to be a ruse, and they both attacked him. But dude, I love that, man. And like I said, I love Murder Grandpa. I was a little worried about Sting, and like I said, my God, when Sammy did that friggin' was it Shooting Star Press? I can't remember what the move off the top turnbuckle onto the table and Sting. I thought he killed him.
It was a 450, I think.
Was it a 450?
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I was just like, well, Sting's dead. it's like forget about the friggin' final tour, dude. He's singing with the Qua Invisible. He's done. He's gone. So yeah, 6:30. Dude, it was freaking scary, man.
Yeah.
Larry sounds like he's in an air balloon.
I'm sick, I'm injured,
yeah.
I'm tired, and I work with fucking children.
Yeah. We're fucking but yeah, it wasn't a bad match, and like I said, she was able to get everything on track, and then towards the end, and surprisingly enough, Suzuki eating the pin. I'm wondering if maybe he's going to show up at the show with Sammy, and he might lay Sammy out for Chris. So
possible.
But then we had, which some people are calling the match of the night. I wouldn't be mad at it. Bryan Danielson versus Kazuchika Okada. And Okada taking a freaking rare loss. Like Okada doesn't lose very often, and especially outside of Japan. He's super protected. And but not only taking a loss, freaking tapping out.
Yeah.
And Bryan Danielson, and like I said, all the credit to Bryan Danielson, man. The match started slow, but it's exactly what I expected. It was a match that was going to slowly build and build and build and build. And then unfortunately, the last 10 minutes, he broke his arm and they had to get creative. I still thought it was a really good match. They're going to revisit this thing down the line. According to a lot of reports that they're going to be part 2 is going to be at Wrestle Kingdom.
Maybe not. Depends how long it takes. When's Wrestle Kingdom?
Wrestle Kingdom is until January.
He should be hopefully healed up.
Yeah. Dude, that's almost 6 months away.
A little over 5 months.
Well,
depends on how bad that break is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a full break, but it's a clean break. It's not like broken in multiple pieces.
And it happened Sunday might never happen again, but Danielson coming out to the final countdown,
Oh, that was awesome, dude.
which is probably what they should have played when when Guevara went through the table.
Oh my
on
God,
stage.
dude.
But
No,
might
it should have
been
been
a-
like,
that
more
could
like
have been a fight.
farewell and
yeah.
adieu to you. Dude, freaking sing the Quint song. Freaking sing that. Oh my God.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and Danielson didn't know that they were going to play that song. He was going to play that song for him.
Yeah.
Which made-
Well, yeah,
which made
I
even-
know.
Which made it even better.
And I guess they have 2 uses out of it. They bought 2 uses of it. So they'll
Yeah.
probably, whenever he makes his comeback, whatever show he comes back on, they'll probably use it for him there.
It's
Oh,
probably-
Yeah, it was 2 uses. It was the entrance and the win. That's all. I don't think they're gonna pay for that anymore.
No, I think Tony said he's got 1 more use of it. I think
He's probably hoping to use it all in, but can't do it anymore.
Yeah, he can't do it now because he's injured. But yeah, like I said, I thought it was a great match. Surprising. I gotta believe that Okada did him a solid, and that he's gonna repay it. So he already said he wants to fight him again. So I'm thinking Wrestle Kingdom, and I'm all for it, man. I still need him versus Zack Sabre Jr. though. I gotta have that match too. But yeah, that was all in. Overall, great match. I give it like an A minus. I don't think it was the best show of the year, but I think it was a really, really good show. And it'll be interesting to see. There's a little bit, like I said, tomorrow will be interesting. There's going to be some fallout from the things that happened, and it should be fun. Okay, we're going to talk about Raw for about 3 minutes. 57
That's on
minutes.
you too. I didn't watch that shit.
Yeah,
57. Dude, you didn't miss anything.
you didn't.
Seriously, you missed
Jesus.
nothing.
Jeez.
Absolutely nothing. 57 minutes of wrestling on a 3-hour freaking show. Like your world champion standing in the ring, waiting for over 10 minutes for his freaking match to start. If I was at that show, I'd be pissed off. Literally, because 75% of the show was on the Titantron. And it's like, or just people talking in the ring. And it's like, why? Why do we do the freaking women's Money in the Bank? The women's Money in the Bank Summit. Why? You spent 20 minutes on this thing. You could have had 2 decent matches or 1 really good long match.
Yep.
Instead, you got people yammering. God. That's it. And there's Vince's fingerprints were heavily on this show. You think? Dude.
How much you pay for ringside seats to get 6 matches?
Yeah. You pay probably $500-$600 at least for ringside seats. And you see 6 matches, 3 of which were less than 5 minutes. And then you've got literally, dude, there was for the first hour, there was 1 match, and it was only was it 11 or 12 minutes long.
And then you had who was it? The match with the Japanese guy.
Oh, Akira Tozawa. Oh yeah, Dom
Oh my
versus
God.
Akira Tozawa.
Jesus,
Dude, if
really?
I was
really?
Akira Tozawa,
That was
Oh.
one of your. That was one of your 6 matches.
And let's not forget that your NXT champion made their Carmella Hayes makes his debut and loses. Your NXT champion, the top guy in your third brand,
Just pinned.
gets pinned in his debut.
Remember
If
Karrion
that ain't a
Kross?
Vince thing, I don't know what is.
That's what he did to Kross and Jeff Hardy.
Yeah. That's what he did. That's what he did to every NXT champion that came up that when he was in charge of everything. It's like this guy is supposed to be the head of the face of your third brand. He comes up, he has a match. By the way, he's really good. I like him. And he loses. You can't do something where like somebody runs in, like with Balor. Just have Priest or Dom or somebody come in and interfere with the match, and lose by disqualification. Do something like that. But no, he just gets pinned.
And they're trying to they want to make NXT the third brand.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's
to
what I'm saying.
elevate it, to elevate, and you elevate it by your champion getting pinned.
Yeah,
His
not
first
even
match.
not even losing because of some kind of like he used a foreign object or anything like that. No, he just gets freaking beat, and I'm just like, dude. So he got vinced. He got vinced. Carmelo Hayes got vinced, and I was looking at this going, you know what? And this is why NXT is never going to be elevated as long as Vince is there. It's never going to happen. But yeah, that's my opinion of Raw. Raw was shit. I mean, what wrestling we did get, most of it was decent. I mean, Cody and Seth are great. Damian Priest is really good, but it was a nothing burger. The show sucked. I hate it. Like I said, an hour and a half into it, I looked at Frank and was like, I swear to God, this is like freaking work. And I can't take it. But all right, let's do some Money in the Bank predictions, man.
Yep.
Let me pull up the card. Money in the Bank 2023 card. All right, no, go away. So where is the card? Okay, so far we got for the men's Money in the Bank. All right, we'll leave that at the end. So Gunther versus Matt Riddle. Gunther's winning this.
Yes.
Okay. Now, personally, I would like to see Gunther drop the IC title so he can start challenging for the world titles. Because I think that's where he needs to go, and that's where that's the future. That's where he needs to be. But there's no way he's going to drop it to Matt Riddle. What do you agree with me, right?
I agree with that. I mean, they're trying to make the Intercontinental title mean something. So
Yeah.
I just can't see them taking off of Gunther right now.
Unless Randy shows up.
Now,
Yeah,
if Randy Orton shows up and he hits Gunther with an RKO, that changes everything.
No, if Randy shows up, he's taking Matt Riddle out.
You think he's going heel?
Yeah.
Okay. If that would be interesting, because I think obviously that we were thinking before Randy got hurt that's what was going to happen, that he was eventually going to turn.
Because they'll set up Riddle versus Randy Orton.
Yeah. But yeah, so that match, I think that's what's going on there. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Gonzalez for the women's tag team championship. They're not taking those belts off of Ronda and Shayna anytime soon.
Champs retain.
Yeah, because and here's the thing: Raquel Gonzalez doesn't need to be in tag matches.
She should be wrestling for the women's title.
She should be wrestling for the women's title. She should be that should be Rhea Ripley's number one contender right there. That should be the person that she goes up against multiple times, as a matter of fact. Because instead of doing freaking what's her name twice again, Natalia, why isn't Gonzalez freaking fighting for that belt? I don't understand. But yeah, Ronda and Shayna, like I said, they wanted those belts specifically. They're trying to put some respect on it. As long as Vince is in charge, I don't know how that's going to work, but yeah, I think they're keeping those belts now. Cody versus Dom. I think Dominic wins. I think Dominic wins because of shenanigans. And it got quiet in here.
I'm not watching WWE, so it's hard for me to say.
Gotta think on that one.
Yeah, I think Cody's gonna beat him pillar to post for most of the match, and then there's gonna be shenanigans. There's gonna be schmaz, and he's gonna steal a win.
Well, it could. Is it supposed to be SummerSlam to wrestling? Because I can see Brock coming out.
Now I could see Brock coming out and murking Cody, and then that's how he wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To set up their match for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see Dominic winning that.
Yeah, and I think that just adds. I mean, Dominic's already got nuclear heat, and I think just makes it even hot and more heat with him saying he got to win over Cody. And and like doing like, oh, I beat him all by myself. Meanwhile, freaking Brock murdered him. So, the Bloodline, Roman and Solo versus Jimmy and Jay. I think I'm with you, dude. I think Roman and Solo win.
Yep.
Yeah, Cody losing at a pay-per-view isn't a surprising one. Yeah, and I hate that that's the way it is, but yeah, I think that helps the storyline along in a different way with Roman and Solo winning. I do think that there's some storyline stuff like maybe Solo is the one who's supposed to should get the win, and then Roman takes the pin or something like that, because they're going to slowly turn Solo against him. Because it's basically everything that Cody said is what's going to happen. Jimmy and Jay both left. Then Solo's going to leave. And then Heyman's going to be the one who leaves at the end. And it's going to be Roman by himself. And that's when Roman loses. So, but right now, I actually think they win. I think Roman and Solo get the win here.
Yeah, so do I. Now, I didn't see it listed when I was looking at, but aren't they doing Asuka versus Charlotte at Money in the Bank?
I think they're supposed to, unless something happened.
Because I could have sworn they announced it yesterday, but the site I'm looking at doesn't have it mentioned. So,
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to go.
No problem, brother.
I have to go. Hey, thanks for stopping by, man.
Yeah, feel better,
No
man.
problem.
Yeah,
Get
feel
That's
some
better,
right.
sleep.
dude. I know
Get some
you're.
sleep.
I know you're feeling like shit. So yeah, take care, brother. See here, Money in the Bank. Does have shot to lose to Flair? Yeah, I think so. I get the feeling they're gonna have her lose to Charlotte. I think they're gonna feed her to Charlotte again. And if they do, man, they're gonna piss off so many people.
Dumb.
Yeah. And it's gonna piss off a lot of people, but I think that's the thing, because they want her to beat her dad's record. And she's gotta lose it and then win it one more time, right?
She's 14-time champion.
Okay, so she needs to win it, so she needs to win it 2 more times.
Yes.
So this will be
So she
15.
wins. She wins on Saturday, Saturday. That'll be number 15.
Yeah, and then she has to lose it, win it back, and then lose it and win it back, and then she beats her dad.
Yes.
But yeah, I get the feeling that she's gonna take it, which I think is unfair to Asuka, but what are you gonna do? Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. Dude, he ain't taking that belt off Seth.
No.
So it'll be a great match because I love Finn Balor and I think Seth Rollins is awesome. But I think he wins, and then I know, man.
I think you're gonna eventually start setting it up for Gunther versus Seth. When, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that would be what I would do, and that's when I would have Seth lose it, I would put that belt on Gunther, and I would let him run through everybody for a year, at least, do a nice long reign with him.
Right.
But yeah, I think I got Seth going over Finn. All right, women's Money in the Bank: Zelina Vega, Becky Lynch, Zoe Starks, Bayley, Io Sky, Trish Stratus.
We want
Io to win.
Yes.
I think it's going to be Becky. I don't want it to be. I really want Io to win. I think Bayley's going to cost Bayley. She and Bayley are going to start fighting, and Becky's going to sneak in.
So Bayley's going to cost Io the briefcase.
Yes. I think Io's going to be about to grab it, and then Bayley jumps her, and she's like, out of selfishness, and then that storyline will be the two of them against each other going forward. And I think Becky's going to sneak in because they had Becky confronting Rhea Ripley on Raw, and they were really pushing Becky hard during that stupid summit thing they had. So
yeah, and they said Becky's at everything but win the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yep. And I think she's gonna win it. I think she's going to win the Money in the Bank. It should be Io, but it's going to be Becky. Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, LA Knight, Santos Escobar, Butch, and Damian Priest and Logan Paul for the men's Money in the Bank. Woohoo! I want it to be LA Knight.
So do I.
It's going to be Logan Paul. And crickets again. It's
if not Logan, if not LA Knight, then it should be Damian Priest.
It should be Damian. Yeah, if not LA Knight, it should be Damian Priest, but it's not going to be. It's going to be Logan Paul. I got a feeling in my gut.
And you want to see Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins again?
Nope,
because I don't.
I don't. But
I don't want to see Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns, even in a short match again.
Butch and the biggest upset, dude. Friggin', I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that at all, man, because I love him. I think he's awesome. But I got a nasty feeling, dude. It's gonna be it should be LA Knight. If not him, it should be Damian Priest. It's gonna be Logan Paul. And it's gonna piss everybody off. But that's what it's gonna be, and it sucks. But there you go. There's our predictions for Money in the Bank. Dude, I don't even know if I'm gonna watch it live. I might just watch the rerun.
Well, it starts at 3:00.
Yeah.
Because it's in London. It starts at 3:00 Eastern time this Saturday, which is probably the kickoff. So the regular show probably doesn't start till 4.
Yeah.
Which, if that's going to be the case for Money in the Bank, you know that's going to be the same case for All In.
All In will probably
next
be like
month,
3:00. Yeah.
It's going to be 3 or 4 o'clock start time here.
Yeah. Which, to be honest, on the weekend for me, that works best because I get off work at 1:00. So, but yeah, I don't know if I'm going to watch this thing live.
I work.
I really don't care.
I work. I'm not going to watch it live. But I'll see it when I get home.
But we'll see if we're right. Like I said, I'm going to have to wrap up here. Thanks for everybody that was here. Johnny, thanks for being here, brother. Get well soon, man. Just take care of yourself. Hicksville said LA Knight beating Mysterio clean on SmackDown was a surprise. He might just be getting that push. He should, dude, because he's over. Like, whether you like him or not, because I know a lot of people think he's just like a rip off of The Rock and Austin mixed together. But I like the dude. I think he's over. He's crazy over. So
yeah, even with the stupid match he had with Bray Wyatt, the lights out match.
Yeah, the Mountain Dew lights out.
Yeah.
But thanks, Hicksville, Leg Kick, Big Daddy, Maldecito, Courtney, Red Dress, Dakota, Johnny Cage. Like I said, thanks for being here, brother. Appreciate it. And everybody else that came in and lurked. Appreciate you guys, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.